In my camera, I've exchanged all these notes here, 1 2 3 4 5 6, for the ones before them a semitone, right? So I'm moving everything a semitone mark, right? So this is what I'm playing right here. Yeah, that's what I'm playing now. Instead of, so I'm playing, that's what I'm playing now. That's my new skill. So let me try and play that same song with the same thing. Two of them, right? Let me play. Right? You can see it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense, right? As much as, right? Right? There's something off there. All right? It doesn't make sense. So, all in all, I'm trying to demonstrate something here about how the difference between the key and the focal point. If you still want to imagine this as the focal point of both of those songs, for example, you see that one set of notes seem to emphasize this more, like in a sense. The sense between one set of notes makes more sense than this one, right? It makes more sense. That's why I can harmonize it. Right? It makes more sense. Instead of right? If you are thinking about it, I can bet what you are thinking right now is that one note in this entire thing seems to be off. This note does not sound like it's agreeing with all of these notes. So here, all of these notes here seem to admit that this note is the most important note. All of the notes in the other one seem to admit that this is the note that has problem. So a focal point is made by the key. I will explain my key. But the key is basically all the other notes you are using to emphasize that that particular note is the focal point. That's the idea of what a key is. Let's go to a major scale, right? What I'm saying is that if I'm taking this as my focal point, right? there are different scales or different combination of notes I can use to emphasize that this is my focal point, right? So if I say this, you keep on hearing this as, right? You keep on hearing that. In music theory, I'm going to explain to you why the major scale is literally the easiest, I would say, key that gives you the clearest view on what your focal point is. I'll explain to you why. But your ears just keep on gravitating toward this note. Let me change this. What about this? Why do you think we are still hearing this note? Well, am I wrong? You are still hearing this as a focal point, right? You are still somehow hearing this, right? You are still hearing it. That's because this scale too, everything still agrees that this is the focal point. You are still agreeing that somehow this is the focal point. Let's make another focal point like this, but you see that it's the focal point but in a different way. You are still hearing this as your focal point, but why does this sound like it's the same focal point but it sounds different altogether? This, right, is different from this, right? It's the same, but why does it sound different? The idea is that your focal point is always a note, but the context in which that note is going to be interpreted is given by the key. What's the key? The key is all the other notes you are using to give context to that note, because only this note itself is just one note. But when I start putting other notes around it, it starts to give it a context like this. This is the same, but it sounds different. In fact, if you're not musically adept, you would think I'm playing in a different key, but at the end I'm playing the different focal point. But you at the end you still see that now this one still the come out more. That's what a focal point is. A focal point is the note, but in everything you are doing, right, that note is going to be one that is pushed out more, and what pushes out the note is the other notes you are using. It's basically like cooking, for example, right? Let's take about a sandwich. Let's take about a burger, right? A burger. For people have eaten burger, that thing that has bread on top and now meat. Do you realize that the burger is not actually the whole thing, right? It's not the whole thing. The actual burger, what makes a burger the burger, is the meat in the middle. But all the other things they put around it is just to accentuate the meat in the middle, to make it sweeter, right? You can eat the meat alone, but if they just give you that meat alone, you no go chop am. All of it they go KFC now, they go Chicken Republic, they go Burger King. If they just give you meat and this thing, you no go chop am now. But the entire burger is everything brought to you. They'll bring everything to you together, right? You will not eat it, but the actual burger in that burger is the meat, but you not eat the meat alone. It's the same way. This na the real kinekon. This is the real note. This is the real key. But what makes this key the key itself, correct key, is every other note. add to it. And that's the reason why your ears know how to detect the key. It's not because we have some superpower. It's because the musician, or the way music design is that when you play other notes around that key, they push it forward. But based on the notes you play, they are going to push it forward in different ways. Chicken burger is different from chicken burger, right? It can be the same burger in the middle, but if they put cheese, they put tomato, they put lettuce, they put bread in one, it will taste somehow. If they put chicken burger, they now put pomo, they now put lettuce, they now put rice in one part, the one that they now put moi moi and give it to you as burger, you will not be eating the same thing, but it's still burger you are chopping now. It's the same thing in music. The choice of notes you select to push out your focal point will give you the flavor of music you are trying to bring out. So why am I saying this? You have to train your ears to know exactly what you are hearing in terms of what is this musician's choice of note trying to give me as the total burger. Is he giving me chicken burger or pomo burger? Or as the creator too, the music I'm playing, what kind of burger am I pushing out? Am I pushing out something delicious that everything complements each other? Or I'm putting chicken and pomo in the same place? So I know some of you don't know what pomo is. Sorry, it's for the Twitch guys, understand? But that's the idea behind what we're saying. The focal point is just the main ingredient in the burger, but everything else in that food must accentuate it to bring it out. That's what we're talking about here, and that's the difference. All right, so think about that. In how many things, all the music I'm listening to, how many music have the same focal point, but why do they seem different in taste? Think about it and let me know your answers. All right, think about it. Yes.